This is the Mobile Dwarf Fortress set number 9340 from the year 2018. And this is supposed to be the castle of the Dwarven Knights. So a moving castle, which is a large tower that has a troll that has been trained to pull that castle anywhere they want to. Both sides pop that. On both sides of the tower, and you can shoot anywhere. Can go up and down like this. The door can go even higher, look at that. And you can rotate the crossbow itself pretty much. Boom. So if you look here, there's a window that is keeping something inside. You see that there's no exit. Look at this side, also has a window. Unless you come to the back door here, you lift this, then you pop this door open. And all of a sudden, there's a hammer inside. Look at that hammer. That could be the major hammer of the trolls. Or you take this hammer out and you put accessories inside and you make it an awesome room. It's a very, very large room. You can put a lot of stuff in there. Put one of the dwarves inside. It looks pretty cozy. Another cool thing that you can do here, let's say you have the other Dwarven sets that I just reviewed. You open this, you bring down the door, and there it is, a green troll, which could be one of the angry ones, the ones that are more likely evil towards the dwarves themselves, so they keep this troll locked up. Here on the side, you have two torches to illuminate the way. The same thing with this side. Things are very symmetrical with these Dwarven constructions. Here in the front is my favorite feature of the set. The yellowish orange troll pulling the whole thing all by himself by the sounds of the drums. So this dwarf here, he keeps drumming, doom doom doom, keeps pulling the whole thing. So this troll comes with two different weapons, or the whole set comes with two different weapons. You can choose the golden sword or the hammer. Maybe he needs to hold the hammer while pulling the whole thing, which is one arm, or he needs to dual wield one hand with the hammer, one hand with the knife or sword, and he's ready for battle. Because look at his size, he's gigantic. The design and construction of the tower is just phenomenal. Some sort of metal that's just holding things together, and these are thick planks of wood. You can have a little dwarf stand in there, and just they all go together in the front like they're guiding the whole fortress. Look at that, I got another character on the other side. And now they're all together riding the front of the fortress. There you go, a fourth character. Now there's a lot of them. The second floor is one of the most interesting of this whole tower here. If you push this down, you have protection with the ballistas, and the same goes with this side here. It's hard to grab. I put my nail here and push it down. That works great. Here on this side of the ballista, you have a cool little closed window. You can't exit through this window, but you can always remove this and just have better access inside. Access in there in that room is a little difficult because, you know, the ballista is on the way and my hand is way bigger than a child's hand. Then here on the back, you have this awesome balcony, but try to reach in, you're gonna hit this weapon. They're supposed to stand like this, straight, but you can also say you cannot enter, and you can have them like crooked like this, and that looks really cool. Look at that, saying don't enter, this is closed for anyone. These are very malleable. Look at that, they bend very easily and they don't go back fully to the way they were. If you store this in a box like this, it will be like that for a while. So we take those down, and now I can access a little bit better. It's a blacksmith room. In here there is like a bucket on the wall. It's imbued into the floor of this tower, and I put some weapons from blacksmiths. I also done the same on this side. Both sides are just like it. I have the anvil in there. A hammer fell off on the floor, and fire, because you can't bend metal unless you melt them on a fire. So you can see that window up there. You can see the ballistas or crossbows on both sides, and the buckets. That's all you have in that room. Put him in a spot that I want. Then I can go here, move this anvil in front of him, so it's like he's using it. For some reason, this guy is done doing his rounds, and he decides to go in there and chat with his blacksmith dwarf there. Now you see there's that one guy. Now you see there's one guy there, one guy on this side here that you can see through the ballista. Another thing to keep in mind, beware when you close the ballista window, it will push stuff from the inside all over. See, this won't even close because it's hitting the item on the floor. Now it closes, which moved the character because the character was on the way. You only get light from that window there and this doorway. Let's get both windows open at the same time. Maybe it's too hot in that room because the blacksmith just hammering fire and molten metal. So he comes to the balcony and he looks out there and he's enjoying the wind outside. And then here we are at the very top floor. This is the third floor of this huge contraption, and he has several little towers or compartments. One has a telescope for you to see, make sure no one is sneaking into this army here or into their tower. A giant anvil. What's the use of this giant anvil? This troll is actually a blacksmith and he can craft amazing magic weapons. Playmobil catalog of 2019, open on page 31. Here it is. Here are all the Playmobil Dwarven Kingdom sets, and there it is, the awesome fortress, mobile dwarf fortress set 9340. And he says here, to the beat of the drums the giant troll pulls the dwarf fortress equipped with a battering ram, crossbows and prison. I'm pretty sure this troll, he makes the most magical, strongest, best weapon in the kingdom of all the Playmobil knights. That's why he has that a gigantic anvil, and he is just making this golden sword. So no Playmobil can hold this because obviously, because the holder is too thick for the Playmobil. Here we have a dwarf Playmobil on the table, and this awesome troll is right gonna smash him. Well, that's the end of that dwarf. Now he's calling for another dwarf to come and hold the golden sword. So a new dwarf arises, but this time this guy is fully armored with a shield and a hammer. He's terrified and shaking of fear. The troll just placed the sword down there and they're saying go ahead and get it, and he goes there and he wants to grab the sword. He actually has the sword in his hand. Oh! He's just a goner, there's nothing left. He smashed for him right on the head. So now we have another dwarf and he's thinking, I don't really need that sword, but I would have the honor to hold it and see how good it is. Instead of standing on top of the anvil, he just stands on the side of it, and maybe that's the secret, not to be smashed. So the secret of the sword is right here. You just take that off and now a normal Playmobil can hold it. So there you go, the dwarf is wielding the golden sword forged by the great blacksmith troll, and he survived to tell the story. Alright, let's say maybe these dwarves did not die smashed to pieces by the troll. So there's something else up here that's worth looking at. It's the anvil itself. Open, and he revealed that it's actually full of secrets, a lot of maps and treasures. Look at that, it has the map of the Dwarven Kingdom and it shows an X right here. I don't know what that would be for. There is the little Dwarven Kingdom icon, some long distance mountains, and maybe the pathway that the fortress is taking or have taken in the past where they may have hidden a treasure. And if you look at the second paper here, it just shows food. Maybe it's rations. They're eating all their food as they travel. You can see here at the top and at the bottom some pagan runes. You might have a translation if you want to translate those who know. And then this one you can actually write it yourself. I think it's upside down. The icon is now up on an upward state. The other side is just empty and blank, you see. But this paper here is just awesome. You can make runic inscriptions from pagan. You can just go to the website and look it up how to write in runic. It's very easy, or you can just write whatever you want to write with cursive or any kind of font you have. Inside here there is a parchment with a scroll, and inside the parchment you can put any of those papers I just showed you, including this one, a Viking snake, and then it continues here all the way to a flag. It might be the destination of the Dwarven fortress, or it might be a treasure that's hiding in there. I don't know, it could be whatever you want it to be. So the usage for this is, let's say the Dwarven fortress has been taken or is about to be taken in a battle. So they put a message here, a scroll, and then they give it to this bird. The bird holds on to it and goes delivered to any other kingdom into the Playmobil world. This will become his tomb. Farewell, friend. Can hold on to the anvil and you lift the whole top of that tower, which means you can fully access that room, not just from the entry door or the windows from the ballista windows, but from the top. And now you have a full view of that room, where I organize this fire on the corner so there's more room, and the anvil in the middle with his weapons on each bucket on the side there. You can just switch this thing here and put in any of those as well. And then if you turn all the way here, you're gonna have that bucket that you see in a lot of Playmobil castles, especially vintage castles. I have tied up here at the rail from the balcony. You can tie up in any way you prefer or not tie up at all. This can go up and down. You can bring up anything you want. In this case, the hammer is so heavy that the dwarves put in that bucket and now they're bringing like this. Once it's in there, you can flip it this way and now they can access from this balcony here. And then maybe they're bringing the hammer down because it's too dangerous. In this case, I'm bringing a dwarf up there. So once it's up there, someone helps him up or he just climbs up in there. There, boom. Once I'm done, I just tie up here on the rail. There is a shield up here that you can remove and use with your characters. On the other side, there's one exactly like it right here. Now you can always exchange those for these. You can just put weapons. Look at that. You can have an axe just hanging in there, which brings to the price. It was only $80 when Playmobil was selling on their website. Another thing you can do with the Anvil, you can make it into a table where the king and the strategies and the generals, they can just make plans of war and make annotations on their scrolls, and this bridge then can be used to set forth the bird with the scroll to send message to other kingdoms. And that is the awesome Dwarven mobile fortress, full of accessories and usages and weapons and ballistas. Box! Oh my god. Well, we have some broken pieces here. This is the front of the box. You can see here the troll feature on there. The back of the box has all the accessories. This is something I like to do because they are Dwarven knights and they come with a bunch of different items that don't match anything at all. I like to get the weapons on the floor with the shields and hats. And then I give them what looks best. I went for the buckler shield here because he's a bow and arrow guy. Arrows on the back. This guy, I see him as a warrior. I don't like this hammer because it's just too big. Fireman axe right here. He's all blue. Unfortunately, there's no blue shield to put it, but the yellow from his armor matches his shield. And then this guy, because he has green shirt, it matches with the green shield, and he gets the little hammer. It matches him a lot better than this large hammer. And there you go. Now I think all these characters look a lot better. And here are all the accessories you get with this set. One main thing that I forgot to mention, the helmet of the troll comes off, which means you can put any other helmets on his head, including that one that matches his entire face. Look at that. I think this one is better because it matches his wrist cuffs. Here are his movements. His arm goes all the way around, up and down. His wrist rotates right here around. This is the area where he rotates. His head does not move. Legs don't move. This is the back. These are the characters without any accessories. They look very blunt and awesome actually. This one here has a green shirt with some cool Dwarven designs. He has a belt, jacket, boots, and he seems to be ancient with white hair. This guy is also ancient. His white hair is slightly different and a different tone of white as well. He has this little baggie that you can actually remove. You can give him a belt holster, and now instead of having a little bag full of coins or powder or whatever, he can have a knife or a sword. He already has two on the back, metal shoulders, a chainmail, shirt that's yellow, matching that yellow shield. This character here, he has a really cool looking design on his shirt. It could be some sort of metal armor, who knows, maybe it's a leather belt that also has some drawing to it. The back is pretty blunt and empty. All three characters have wrist cuffs. The same for these two guys here. And this one, the bow arrow man that has a cape and a hoodie, has this dark kind, and I think it just matches with the blue a lot better. There are a lot of weapons. The Roman style sword, an axe, two poles, two shields, helmet that has some blue design to it, a helmet that matches the jacket of this guy here, that sword that you can use on the hands of the Playmobil, or you put the adapter for the troll, fire, bucket, anvil, bunch of other weapons here. A whole set of blacksmith tools, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tools, 4 little maps. Don't forget the other map is here with the bird. This is the cape of one of the characters, connection for the quiver, and of course there is the quiver here with yellow arrows on it. The drum pallets right here, 2 shields. I forgot to put the second one in there, and that's it. That's the set. And this is what it looks like when you have all the dwarves residing inside the awesome fortress tower, the mobile fortress tower. Dwarves here holding the troll down there. You have a troll inside. If you look inside there, that's where I put all the treasure. you know, this set with the treasure and the little guard, the treasure guard. The troll is being handled by these two dwarves. Then on the second floor, I put the blacksmith inside working on something. There are two guys here on the balcony. There are the ballistas, the bucket, bringing up the large sword, the golden troll sword. In here you have the bird and the guy with the glider, the planer, each watch post so they can see and attack whatever is approaching. The big large blacksmith troll, he's trying to create a new weapon by forging it. That's it, all the sets put together. Don't forget about also the awesome carriage here, the chariot with the ballista on the back. And there are more dwarves you can get. This is the add-ons. There's the 3 knights and the leader. You can also get a Playmo friend right here, which is just a dwarf. This is actually recent. And this one also another recent dwarf knight. He comes with a flag, as you can see in the back, and a whole shield. Here is the vast army of dwarven knights, a total of 21 dwarven knights plus 3 trolls. There are a lot of dwarven knights. I organized them by about 1, 2, 3 lines. The middle here has the main characters, glider, the horseman, the king in the back there, and the 3 trolls as a line over there. That's 21 warriors, dwarven warriors, and 3 trolls.